Hope you're nice and dry at home, and I hope you're backing a winner on Melbourne Cup Day.
Good afternoon.
Jockeys up on the scales, and by the end of the day, some of them might be coming in half a kilo heavier than they went out because some of the top of the track will be up with them. There's Correct Weight, Weight Right, brought to you by Liberty Financial after the Singapore Challenge race number 3 for Life Goes On, defeating Flotsam and Hidden Honey. Numbers there were 2, 7 and 9 with Correct Weight. Dan Malicki, the dividends.
$6.40 on Super Tab, Life Goes On, $2.50 the place, $6.10 Flotsam, Hidden Honey $3.90, Quinella paid $71.10, Exacta $134.40, Trifecta $1,680.30, running double for 3 and 2, $52.40. Life Goes On, Jim Cassidy winning the third event. How do you sum that up, Tim?
Well, it wasn't too bad for the bookmakers. It was always under double figure odds. It's been kept fairly safe throughout betting. It really wasn't a heavily commissioned horse at all. They left the money in the bag with Kapalua. I can tell you in race 4, Libidinius has opened up pretty short down the bookmakers ring. It also loves the wet. And turning our attention to the Melbourne Cup, still some time away, of course, but Persian Punch has shortened 3 or 4 points now. It was about $15 when we arrived on course. It is down with most bookmakers around $11, $10. So Persian Punch, most bookmakers say the rain keeps coming, it'll keep shortening, Pete.
Tim Gossage in the betting ring, and very important here to look at the horses with the affected ground form, and just a couple of them, Jen, quickly looking through the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup field. The horses that we can't work out any wet track form for are Give the Slip, we don't know.
Marion Bard.
Marion Bard's got no wet track form, and neither has Carpstad Way.
No.
Curata Storm hasn't won on affected ground. Reenact and Karazi have no wet track form. And number 24, Celestial Show, has no wet track form.
Yes, so we'll just keep an eye on how the surface does play out throughout the day.
Let's have a look at the dividends for the next, and that is race 4, the Cannon Mare Sprint. Now, the one that I've gone for in the race, Jen, is Mini Me, number 8, but I want to climb off now because she has got no form in the wet at all, and Libidinius is the one that I would select in the race now. It's $14.40 for Arrogance, $3.70 Libidinius, $5.90 for Romantic Sea, $19 for Comedy Court, $5.40 for Joie, Mini Me $10, and then we go over to the rest of the field at big odds. Mandarin Princess $25.
Pete, I like number 11 here.
Crimson Gem,
yes,
$17.90.
If you go on weight, she meets Libidinius 6.5 kilos better for just being beaten by less than a length with her, so I thought she had a terrific chance.
She handled the going, Jen?
Yes, she's okay in the going. Number 14, Lady Softball, I thought had a bit of a chance. Her form's been pretty good. Number 4, Chalet Me, another one that likes the wet.
Okay, the selections from the panel, as I said, Mini Me was the one that I went for on the basis that we were going to be racing on a good track, and now that we're not racing on a good track, I'd be going for Libidinius number 2, Crimson Gem from Jen, Arrogance from Letzi, Romantic Sea from Simon, Arrogance and Libidinius from Dan and Gary up in the commentary box. The Cannon Sprint race 4 due to commence at 12:40 today. And that is the next event on the program. I hope that you're enjoying Melbourne Cup Day. The weather gods have not smiled on us, but there are still plenty of winners to be found. The next of them coming up at 12:40. We'll take a break and be back with more from Flemington right after this. What a contrast it is from Amy Victoria Derby Day, where we had a perfect day, blue skies around 24 degrees. Unfortunately, it is not the same on Tooheys New Melbourne Cup Day, but we're here and the great race is going to be run at 10 minutes after 3 this afternoon. And we are delighted to have been advised by many people around Australia and indeed around the world that you're catching up with our coverage from our email address, and it is thecup@network10.com.au. We've had plenty of emails from around Australia, places such as Port Hedland. We know you're watching us there. The Sandra Sully fan club is out in force, and many places around the world. We've had a couple from the bluegrass area of Kentucky in the United States, and also one from New York, and our thoughts are with the people of New York as they watch on our great race today. Well, it's time now for the presentation after the running of the Singapore Airlines race number 3, and we welcome the manager from Victoria and Tasmania, Mr. Paul Doraj-Raj.
Chairman, committee members of the Victorian Racing Club, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here today to be part of this important day at the Melbourne Cup Carnival and play a small part in the celebration of a great winner. At Singapore Airlines, we are keen supporters of the Melbourne Cup. With our partners at the Singapore Tourism Board and the Singapore Turf Club, we welcome the opportunity to again be part of the most famous racing carnival in the Southern Hemisphere. Horse racing is well established and much loved in Singapore, and we support this special day on Melbourne Cup Day because of our strong affiliation and support of horse racing. In May next year, Singapore hosts the prestigious Singapore Airlines International Cup. With prize-giving money of more than $3 million, it is one of the major racing events in the international calendar. There's no doubt that today is the highlight of the Australian racing calendar. It's also a day where we invite you to join us at the Singapore Airlines Cup in May 2002. And our friends from the Singapore Tourism Board and the Singapore Turf Club will be a friendly host for a live-it-up visit to Singapore for the Cup. It's now my great pleasure to present the Singapore Challenge Cup for the horse Life Goes On to Jim Baxter.
Congratulations to the connections of the winner of the Singapore Challenge Race 3, and well done to Singapore Airlines for their sponsorship. Governor General is just arriving, coming down the straight here at Flemington, and he is going to be greeted by light drizzle and quite a bit of wind around at the moment. Very unpleasant conditions, but as we said, it is Melbourne Cup Day for 2001, and you're watching it in the comfort of your home or wherever you may be watching throughout Australia on Network 10. And as I said, we have had plenty of emails about Sandra Sully down in the marquee, and when you look at just how beautiful this lady is, it's pretty easy to understand why. Sandra?
You're a sweetheart, Peter Donegan, and, you know, thanks are always in the mail, as it were. And thank you for all the viewers that are commenting on my beautiful frock today. I might add, it is from the delightful Tea Rose. And, you know, we just have 3 hours to go to the big race, but we have many fashion winners in the stakes today. And as always, at our Melbourne Cup Carnival, we highlight and showcase Australia's fashion stars. Now, we'll be featuring 3 designers today, each and every day. And, of course, that will couple with your chance to win some great prizes in our home viewer fashion competition. But let's take a look at the first of our featured designers today, the feminine and ever so beautiful Rosemary Armstrong and her wonderful designs from, of course, Tea Rose.
La lune trop blême pose un diadème sur tes cheveux roux.
I started designing pieces that I couldn't find that women wanted, and I think one of the first things I designed was a silk dress with a little white collar. That was the mid-70s, and I think it sold for about $300, which was a lot at the time.
De tes yeux blasés, princesse de la rue, sois la bienvenue dans mon cœur brisé. The stairways up to La Butte can make the wretched sigh, while windmill wings of the moulin shelter.
I love antique clothing. I love the 20s and the 30s. I love the way the clothes were designed to really flatter a woman's body. It was a very feminine and romantic period.
Qui cherche ma mère, je sens ta poitrine et ta taille fine, j'oublie mon chagrin, je sens sous tes lèvres une odeur de fièvre, de gosse mal nourri, et sous ta caresse je sens une ivresse.
Well, the coat is in a beautiful Spanish suede. It's an unlined coat, so it really moulds beautifully to the body. And the skirt is a couture embroidered fabric from Switzerland, which is, again, is quite the focal point, so everything else is built around the skirt. The little silk camisole is very simple, The hat is from Isabel Clompe, beautiful hat. She does divine hats, but again, that really has been designed to go around the outfit, to fit in with the outfit. So, you know, the girl just looks beautiful from head to toe.
All you need to do is to vote for your favourite outfit from amongst the 3 designers that we showcase each day. We have a fantastic daily prize package to give away on each of Derby, Cup and Oaks Day. This great prize includes L'Oreal beauty products to the value of $1,000, a Cellar starter case of Xanadu wine and $1,000 cash courtesy of Liberty Financial. Then be watching on Stakes Day when everyone who's entered the competition will go into the draw for our fantastic major prize, a $10,000 gift voucher courtesy of Harvey Norman. So you have 2 chances to win some great prizes. All you have to do is keep tuned to 10 and watch out for our feature designers, and then vote for your favourite outfit on the day. The number to call is 1902 555 613 and follow the voice prompts. Vote A for Katie Davenport, vote B for T Rose, and vote C for D Charmaine. You can ring as many times as you like. This competition is only open to viewers in Australia. So make sure you call and cast your vote to be part of this great competition.
You know, there are 2 great competitions this week that Channel 10 are bringing you, and Tim Bailey is at the helm of the other exciting competition, the chance to be an instant millionaire. Tim Bailey, always the mischief maker, but this is a pretty exciting comp, isn't it?
So the producer simply said, go and make your mark, Bailey, on marquees, which is a bit hard to do when you're not allowed into most of them. But this is the marquee as far as I'm concerned. The Tui's new millionaire marquee. And it's a very sombre-ish type mood in here. You want to know why? Well, there are 24 contestants, 23 of whom will go home without a Zac today. One of them will win $1 million. Now, that's not a chance to win. That is a guaranteed $1 million. One of those people with a chance to, well, walk out with his life totally changed is Glenn Parsons from WA. Glenn, must be a weird feeling right now.
It's overwhelming. Can't explain it. It's just a gut feeling. You're out there with all these people, and to walk away with $1 million is just unspeakable. You've never heard of it.
At 4:15 this afternoon, I'm going to get the Flemington crowd to count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The hairs on the back of your neck will be going up like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can give you a cheque for $1 million.
I hope so too.
All the best, mate.
Thanks.
You're a punter in a true sense of the word. That's it from one of the most nervous marquees on track.
Thanks, Tim Bailey. Now, Peter Donegan has some late details on a scratching. Peter, what is the latest?
Yes, the change in the track conditions, Sandra, has caused a few changes. We have another late scratching in race 5, number 8, Bundy Black. So there are 3 late scratchings in that race, 3, 8, 9, and the early scratching was number 13, and the other late scratching that we gave you earlier was race 9, number 14, Noble Challenge. Sandy, back to you.
Thank you, Pete. You know, just around 3 hours to go to the big race, so make sure you stay on 10. All the excitement here at fabulous Flemington. Stay with us.
Still ahead, the Cup Carnival continues. As the contenders prepare for their moment of glory, a nation holds its breath. From pillar to post, 3 minutes of heart-pounding excitement. In the end, a new champion will rise to the cheers of millions. This is what horse racing is all about. This is the 2001 Tui's new Melbourne Cup, live and exclusive to Network 10.
Fun to be had here at Flemington, regardless of the weather, as you can see. Oh, goodness me, the ladies are in the L'Oreal Marquee, enjoying themselves, getting those last-minute touch-ups. It's a day for fashion and fun, but, you know, fashion is paramount when the racing's, well, not over, but in between the races. So, as you can see, the ladies are making the most of that L'Oreal Marquee. Another woman who always makes the most of Flemington and keeps an eye on the more zany fashions, which is a bit of a trademark for Melbourne Cup Day. Here's Lynn Talbot.
Well, everyone's having a great time out here. Some getting a little wet and others keeping dry like these guys here. Fantastic. Look at you all.
Yes, thank you. Nice outfits.
Yeah, where are you all from?
Ringleader, New South Wales, up Sydney.
Down for the day?
No, down for a couple of days. We're going to play up a little bit more down here and see what Melbourneites can do for us.
And tonight. Okay, how do you all know each other?
Well...
We bumped into each other walking in here.
Oh, okay, and you obviously don't know each other that well because you didn't coordinate your colours.
No, that's right. We just thought, you know, we'd rock up and then...
All work together.
Yeah, all work up in New South Wales and Sydney. Ringleader.
Yeah, the nickname is the Teletubbies.
The Teletubbies. Well, the Teletubbies have a wonderful day out here on Cup Day.
Everyone's having fun. You know, last year it was Brew. 20 years ago it was a horse called Just a Dash, and we can all recall the horse called Champagne. So, you know, the drinks names for horses are always pretty successful, and they've always had the corks popping. Drinks have always gone down pretty well on Melbourne Cup Day, but, you know, you never know. Today you might be able to taste just a little bit of rum.
Maidens just don't win the Melbourne Cup. So it's just as well this tall, long-striding gelding is not a maiden. At least, not according to the records. Rum, a 4-year-old gelding with 20 starts under his belt, is listed as having won one race in the South Australian St. Leger last season. In fact, he finished second to Glitzy Guru, but was elevated weeks later when the winner was disqualified after returning a positive swab. That means when Rum lines up for the Cup, he will have never once have greeted the judge first. Not that that's phasing trainer Dean Lawson.
Yeah, I think he's a genuine 2-miler. I think the further he goes, the better he will be.
The first time Lawson set eyes on Rum as a 3-year-old, he thought he was more likely to saddle him in a Cup hurdle than a Melbourne Cup.
I thought, geez, this looks like a nice steeplechaser. He's so big.
Lawson has never had a Cup runner before, but has tasted big race success with the Grand Galloper Testarossa. Not that Rum and Testa are much alike.
Testarossa wins it from Weaselville.
Oh, there's quite a big difference. You really have to put a lot more work into the horse with a horse like Rum. He's such a big gross horse, and you just really have to build up his stamina, whereas a horse like Testarossa, he was such a fine athlete of a horse that he did gallop hard as well, but not over such a long journey.
A better comparison has been made between Rum and Tommy Woodcock's legend, Reckless, who took 34 starts to win a race and went on to win the Sydney, Adelaide and Brisbane Cups before running second in the 1977 Melbourne Cup. Lawson doesn't know if Rum can get to Reckless heights, but he does know that whatever the gelding does this year, he'll improve upon next year.
So even though he's 4 now, he's still very immature in his mind, and he's just starting to put it all together now. So I think he will improve probably within the next 2 years.
Rum's lead-up form this spring has been solid, and he whacked away in the Moonee Valley Cup to confirm that he is a lightweight chance at odds.
Obviously, I think the 2 miles will be his go, and whether he can win it or not, we'll know on the day. But I think he'll beat a lot more home than will beat him home. And, you know, if we time his run right and we get some luck in the run, he won't be too far away.
There you go, a little bit more of a tip, some idea on the horse Rum, but there are so many great runners in this afternoon's Cup, so perhaps you can, you've got a couple more hours to try and choose who your favourite might be. Stay on 10, the 141st running of the Melbourne Cup is coming up right here on 10. We'll be back shortly with plenty more from famous Flemington. Back to all the glamour and excitement of the Tui's new Melbourne Cup Day. And this is a day indelibly etched on the Australian sporting calendar. Of course, it's famous for fun, glamour and fashion, but racing is always the order of the day. Race 4 is upon us. Let's cross to Peter and Jenny in the mounting yard with a preview.
Yes, they're in the mounting yard, Sandra, for the Cannon Sprint over 1,100 metres. And from this race, the scratchings are the emergency 17, 18 and 19. Let's see if we can find a winner, Jen. At last, I managed to find one in the previous. Before we do, though, why don't we find out exactly what the state of the track track is. It's all important. Karen McAvoy's been riding out there, and he caught up with Mark Oaston.
McAvoy was on Kapalua in that previous race. What were the conditions like?
Yeah, it's quite wet out there now after 2 races, and that was the third. Just starting to get into the track a bit, and it's probably only going to get worse.
It was very, very difficult for us in the grandstand to see what was going on out there. I mean, how tough was it for you?
Yeah, well, the rain's not heavy, but it's quite misty and sleety, so it's the visibility's all right there out there for us at the moment, but it's just making it a bit difficult with the track. You know, it's getting worse.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, the rain continues to fall here at Flemington. It's a real sort of Scotch mist. It's not pelting down by any means, Jen, but it's just unpleasant, and there's a fair bit of wind around too, so it's making it quite chilly.
Yes, there was a course announcement about 2 hours ago, Peter, and said this is the last shower that's coming through and it's going to clear, but it hasn't yet.
Supreme optimist.
Yes.
Arrogance #1 in the 4th. Stephen Arnold, the rider here for Russell Cameron, trained on the track, and that could be important.
Well, the blinkers come off here, Peter. Her best form is on the wet, so she's certainly suited here now. Good straight track horse as well. 56.5, enough weight for her, but she's a chance.
I've gone for Libidinius now, #2, Jen, changing the selection because of the weather. This is a swimmer. Andrew Findlay rides for Alan Bailey.
Yes, she jumps and runs, and she's done really well since she's joined the Alan Bailey stable. She's won 3 since then. Drawn in barrier 2, I think she's going to be very hard to beat.
What about #3, Romantic Sea? Jim Cassidy rides for Roger Hoisted. Wide gate, so will probably come down the outside.
I would expect so, and her best form is also on the rain-affected track. She ran on well to score at Benalla at 2 starts ago, and then a good second at Caulfield as well. So I think she's a chance.
Race 4, #4, Chalet and Me. Peter Merton's the rider for David Brideoak.
Another horse that likes the wet, has a very good first-up record as well. She's had 9 weeks off, so coming into this nice. Is a winner down the straight, Peter, so some chance.
And as these horses continue to walk around the mounting out, I did like the performance of the Lee Friedman trained horse Joie at Caulfield. Scott Seamer, the rider, again, this is drawn very deep, so will be hard up on the outside rail.
She's got a lot of pace, this horse, Peter, and I think she's going to be there for quite some time. She's nicely weighted with 52.5, and like you, I was quite impressed with her win there at Caulfield, so must be considered in the placings.
Mini Me, Jen, #8, ran 7th in that same race, only 4 lengths from the winner, but she missed the start by about 8 lengths. I gave her a real chance today until the rains came. She doesn't handle it.
Yes, that's true. She made up a lot of ground there, Peter, and the distance doesn't worry her, but as you said, better on the dry.
Yes, and down to #11, and that is Crimson Gem. Now, I know you like this one in the race. Brian York is the rider for Ron Stageman. Tell us the reasons why you like it.
Well, you go back 2 starts ago, and she was beaten by however we say
Libidinius.
Libidinius, yeah.
It's too cold to be saying things like that.
6.5 kilos better for just getting beaten just under 1 length, and 51.5 she comes in with. She likes the wet, and I think just at the odds she's good value.
And probably the other main chance in the race is #14, that's Lady Soffel. Samuel Hyland takes the ride for Brian Mayfield Smith, who got a group winner here the other day in La Bella Dama.
Yes, only had the 4 starts, Peter, so a little hard to say about. She has raced on the dead track, that's for sure, but been most impressive. 51.5, trained by Brian Mayfield Smith. He does really well with these Rubiton horses, so she's there with the chance.
I need to have your trifecta quickly, Jennifer, before Dan gives us the totes.
Okay, #11, Crimson Gem from 14, Lady Soffel. #4, Chalet and Me.
And just say #2 again.
Leave me out.
Dan, you say it.
Okay, Libidinius #2. I think it was actually spelt incorrectly. It's supposed to be Libidinus, but the I's popped in from somewhere, which is not a word as far as I know. Libidinius #2, 4:30. So I think you're forgiven there, Jen. And plus, you've got a winner today. 580 Romantic Sea, 510 Joie, #7, drawn the outside barrier. They're 3 of the main chances, although Arrogance has firmed in significantly. #1, it's into $10.80. Crimson Gem is the other one, well supported, and Jen's tip at $12.50 at the moment. And then we get out to some pretty big odds. Lady Soffel has been adrift at $10, and big odds for a few of the other runners. Tim Gossage, straight race, often a trick, but there's a few back here.
Straight race, and a strange race as far as the punters are concerned, because Libidinius almost doubled its price in the opening 20 minutes of betting here. It got the massive drift, no one wanted to be on it, and all of a sudden the last 5 minutes it's been the noted shortener. So a bit of specking too for Romantic Sea. Early in betting, Arrogance was the best back runner and almost touched favouritism at one stage. Comedy Court, Crimson Gem, Lady Soffel have all been back, but gee, I would say that Libidinius, Romantic Sea probably jump almost equal favourites, Pete.
Thank you, Tim Gossage in the betting ring, 1,100 metres down the straight course, and you'll find they will split up here, but I don't think anything will go hard up on the inside rail from what we saw earlier. There are the tips, and as I said, Mini Me was my earlier selection. I've changed off to Libidinius because of the track conditions, and a few of these might be altered throughout the day. And you can see the rest of the selections, and you can also see Roy Higgins standing here with me. Who was that rotten bloke who ran through the mounting yard and grabbed your coat about 10 minutes ago?
Thanks, Pete. Just quickly, they're going into the stalls here. I like to look at the 3 Romantic Sea. Looked excellent in the yard. 2 Libidinius. Jenny couldn't pronounce it. I can. I went to a high school in Jenny. Libidinius looks excellent also. 7 Joie and 9 Mandarin Princess, I think, with all this water all over my screen. 3, 2, 7, 9.
Now, somewhere in there is
a race
start. Yeah, let's go up to Dan. And Daniel, good luck.
I think he needs it, Peter. Hardly see a thing here.
I close my eyes and it's the same picture that's on the TV screen.
Yes, we can't see the city, and Danny can't see the... Well, he can just see the stalls here. So I'll just say good luck to you, Dan. It's going to be pretty difficult. I think the outside horses will definitely stay on that outside rail up here.
Oh, for sure.
And then the inside... They'll most probably try and come a 3 or 4 away from the inside rail.
Chalet Amu moves in. They're ready to go. Race 4 on Cup Day. Over the 1,100. Where they're closing in again. Racing now. Jumping well, Joie towards the outside. Ravensbell jumped well, one of the bolters. Romantic Sea may have been a little bit slow to begin. Arrogance has got speed, so has Rosetta. And Lady Soffel down nearer the inside begin very quickly with Libidinius. They are going to split up, though, as they race down with about 800 metres left to travel. They're going in 2 divisions. Libidinius has got plenty of speed down near the inside. And with Lady Soffel is sharing the lead in the early part of the race. Whereas coming down the grandstand side of the track, Rosetta went quickly. Romantic Sea, after a poor beginning, makes ground. Emma Central's right up there with them as well. They were followed a couple of lengths away by Comedy Court trying to get going. Joie and Arrogance is right up against the outside rail. They've got about 400 metres left to travel now. Over on the flat side of the track, Libidinius just led Chardonnay and Ice. Calming was there as well, and then Crimson Gem just struggling a bit. The grandstand side, Joie in front of Arrogance. Comedy Court running on, and so is Dolphin Dance. It's Joie in front, the grandstand side, the leaders. Joie a couple of lengths clear of Comedy Court and Arrogance. Joie going strongly with 100 left to travel, though, and Joie wins again. Joie first from Comedy Court and Arrogance, then Dolphin Dance, then the flat side, headed by Libidinius, Chardonnay and Ice, and then Calming. Next, Romantic Sea from Ravensbell, Crimson Gem. Further back to Mandarin Princess, Mini Me. Lady Soffel knocked up. I don't think she could go in the ground. Well back in the field, Emma Sensual with Chalet Ami and also Rosetta.
Oh, very good win. Always controlled the race, I thought, Dan. Jumped well. Scott Seamer rated her very well, and she was never really in any danger. She's, was about 2 or 3 off the outside rail, and it was interesting, Peter. Very good win by Joie.
Yeah, it was a good win, Gary, and we're going to pick up the replay. It was very hard to tell, of course, what was leading at that stage, but I can tell you that that horse, Joie, was probably a couple of lengths in front when they came past the clock tower, and it's finished up winning pretty well. The horses in the division behind were the one that provided the placings. All of those horses on the outside, they were the ones running on at the finish.
Yeah, they got home good.
Yeah, whereas the horses over near the rail, that's Libidinius there, Gary.
Yeah.
And I thought it was probably going to come again and run a place around about the 150, but it was the outside rail that was well clear at that stage.
That's right. Yeah, I thought Arrogant right on the outside was going to get home, but Joie just was too good. Scott Seamer, I think he might have just dropped his... Oh, no, he's gone for the stick again. He put it away. But she's really controlled the race, I thought. And Comedy Court's the one in the, 2 in from the outside rail, came home well. Well, Johnny Letts, I think you'd be with Scott Seamer, be pretty happy.
Yeah, I am, Gary, and Scotty's pretty happy about this horse. He said he won at Corfu last time out, and Scott today was a bit more impressive, wasn't it?